He seemed like the kind of neighbor you never had to worry about. Lived alone, paid his bills, waved politely from his porch. The kind of man people described as quiet or kept to himself. His name was Mr. Harris, and on Maple Street, he was just another face in the crowd, forgettable, unremarkable. But that was exactly what made him so dangerous. Maple Street was the picture of suburban peace. Kids played in yards, couples walked dogs in the evenings, and weekend barbecues brought families together. Nothing ever really went wrong there. Until it did. For over a decade, women from nearby towns had been vanishing without a trace. No connections, no suspects, no leads. Just fear growing stronger with every unsolved case. Everyone feared a predator was out there, but no one suspected the man next door. What no one knew was that inside Mr. Harris's home, beneath the floorboards of his quiet life, was a nightmare no one could have imagined. In his basement, behind a reinforced hidden wall, he had built something chilling. A secret room, soundproof, lightless, built not for storage, but for captivity. It was a prison designed for one thing: control. The way he hunted was methodical. He didn't act impulsively. He followed his victims for weeks, learning their routines, their vulnerabilities. He chose women who lived alone, who walked home late, who wouldn't be immediately missed. And then, when the timing was just right, he struck, disappearing with them like a ghost, leaving no trace behind. And every time he returned home, neighbors would nod and smile, completely unaware of the horrors taking place just beneath their feet. The truth only surfaced because of one woman, one survivor. She did what no one else could. Bloodied and barely alive, she escaped through a vent and ran barefoot through the night, her screams finally reaching someone willing to listen. When police arrived at the house on Maple Street, they didn't expect to find what they did. They thought maybe it was a mistake, a misunderstanding. But as they stepped through the door, a chill settled over the team. Everything inside was too perfect, too clean, like it was hiding something. And when they discovered the false wall leading to that room, they understood. This wasn't just another missing person case. This was the heart of a monster's lair. It's terrifying how someone so ordinary could be capable of such darkness. A man who waved at children, who helped neighbors carry groceries, had been hiding a secret life fueled by obsession and evil. And all the while, no one had any idea. The quiet man on Maple Street wasn't just quiet. He was calculating. And deadly. As police stepped through the front door of Mr. Harris's home, the silence was unnerving. Everything inside appeared normal, too normal. The living room was spotless, family-style photos on the walls. A faint smell of lemon cleaner still lingered. It was the kind of home you'd never suspect. But to trained eyes, small inconsistencies stood out. A vent that looked newer than the rest. Floorboards that echoed slightly different. And then, a scratch, just below the edge of a bookcase. A sharp-eyed officer leaned in, tapping against the wall. Hollow. They moved the shelf. Behind it, a false wall. What they discovered beyond that barrier was something no amount of training could prepare them for. The room was cold, small, completely sealed. No windows, no sound. Just a dim light flickering from above, casting long shadows across a chilling scene. Along one wall were shelves lined with glass jars, each containing something grotesque. Fingers, teeth, locks of hair, tiny labels with names and dates. Next to them sat old Polaroid photographs, each capturing the terrified faces of women in their final moments. It was a shrine of suffering. In the center of the room stood a crude altar. Bones were arranged in strange patterns. Wax from melted candles had pooled around it. There were markings on the walls, symbols, obsessive phrases scrawled over and over in red ink. Mine forever. Cleanse through pain. No one leaves. This wasn't just a killer's hideout. It was a place of ritual, of obsession. Investigators found detailed journals, hundreds of pages documenting abductions, routines, and psychological breakdowns. Mr. Harris had tracked everything: times, locations, emotional reactions, even what each victim said in their final moments. It was methodical, calculated, chilling. The community was shaken to its core. This was the man who had attended their church services, waved from his porch, handed out Halloween candy with a warm smile. One neighbor collapsed when she saw the news. Another was quoted saying, "I trusted him with my children." The betrayal cut deeper than the crimes themselves. The survivor, whose bravery brought this monster to justice, testified in court. Her voice trembled, but she stood strong, recounting every horrific detail. The jury was silent. The room was heavy. When the verdict was delivered, guilty on all counts, relief flooded the courtroom. Mr. Harris was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. Maple Street would never be the same again. The house was boarded up. Locals still avoid walking past it even in daylight. Some swear they hear sounds from within, cries, whispers, the echoes of pain that linger long after justice is served. If this story gripped you, disturbed you, or opened your eyes to the horrors that can hide in plain sight, then you're in the right place. Like this video, subscribe to the channel and share it with others who crave the raw, unfiltered truth behind the world's darkest crimes. Because sometimes the most terrifying monsters live right next door.